the race tonight. Lord save me, my drug is my baby. I'll be using for the rest of my life. I've been breaking.
Well, it turns out that all of that was just crazy. And now it is March 7th, and he left me.
Our love was as cruel as the cities I lived in. Everyone looked worse in the light. There are so many lines I have crossed unforgiven. I'll tell you the truth, but never goodbye. I don't wanna look at anything else now that I saw you. I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought of you. Been sleeping so long in a 20-year dark night. And I see daylight. I only see daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight.
Anyway, I was just thinking about a time when I was on a walk, right before I started seeing John, where I was in a really different state of mind. I was excited. Ooh, I look just like Buddy Holly. And really turned on. It was like this very, highly aroused state of mind, sexual, yeah, but not, I don't just mean sexual, I just mean just very stimulated.
Daylight, daylight, dark night, dark night, daylight, dark night, daylight, daylight.
I was excited, and I was listening to this Terry Reid song, River, that he showed me. As part of all the music that he used to win me over, which worked.
That's the only thing that matters.
Dark night, dark night.
And I know that, just like he knew that.
Daylight, 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 dark night, dark night, dark night, daylight, 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 daylight. The luck of the draw only draws the unlucky. So I became the butt of the joke. Loaded the good and I trusted the wicked. Clearing the air, I breathed in smoke. Maybe you ran with the wolves and refused to settle down. Maybe I've stormed out of every single room in this town. Put down our cloaks and our daggers because it's morning now. It's brighter now. Now I don't
Always known it. So just like he says, just let me do what I'm supposed to do.
wanna look at anything else now.
Don't you forget that when I feel like this, there's nothing false about it. It's the most real thing. It's the realest
Things
thing.
will never be the same.
And no one can take it away from me.
So long in a 20-year dark night. Now I'm wide awake. Now I see daylight. I only see daylight.
Thinking about how a soul, as it goes through life, produces, like how an atom is a wave
Sitting on Mom's porch.
and I can't help but thinking about that as like this moving thing that makes a shape, burping, more than a wave. It's July 3rd, and it's hard for me not to think about movement when I think about waviness, like
2020.
something's moving, and something traveling through a substance that
Try to get me to a doctor's appointment with Dr. Bradley
creates a shape.
Daylight.
And thinking about
To
how
go
like
over
a soul,
what the
which
ER
is
doctors
physical
found when I went in
and
with all these
psychical,
weird
which I think
symptoms
are,
and
I'm sure they're
found
the
out
same.
that I have
night.
It moves
something
around,
going on with my
and
left ribs.
ultimately it creates a shape.
Daylight.
And it's a finite shape.
Daylight. Daylight.
Physically miserable, endoscopy. I went to the emergency room again. In the emergency room on Monday.
Dark night. Dark night. Dark night. Dark night. Maybe you ran with daylight.
Its waviness is finite. It can't be anywhere. So I'm in Austin, about to go to a gastroenterology appointment for this digestive thing that I've had going on for almost exactly a month now, a little over a month. Marshall McLuhan.
I'm laying or sitting on my bed. It's June 21st, 2020.
And Tim Wu.
This is probably one of the just hardest times I've ever had in my life.
Douglas Rushkoff.
And I'm clinging to everything that I know about
Dark night.
what else to do. I went to the doctor, went to the ER yesterday. What else to do? What else to do?
Michelle Foucault.
Been sleeping so long in a 20-year dark night. Now I see daylight.
So I am in the car on the way to San Marcos from Mom's. I think it's the 30th of September, and I'm doing okay. I can't remember the last voice memo that I did, but I don't think that I've done one since I had surgery scheduled for this fibroid in my uterus. So that's on October 15th. And I had that barium test, and it didn't turn out anything abnormal, which, I was really relieved by, because it would have been scary for there to be something really, else really wrong, like with the fibroid. I had an abnormal pap smear, 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 Immanuel Kant.
So I'm kind of transitioning from my morning thoughts, which have been all about boyfriends and relationships, to my work. And I just wanted to start off by saying that's there. All this work that I'm starting, that boyfriends are a big part of it. They're probably always a big part of my work. And thank you, men, for inspiring me, because honestly, it's hard for me to do work if there's not some, it really sets me off to have some sort of sexual experience going on.
seems to be like the point of origin for my work, which makes sense because I apparently am just like a shell of a human woman. And I am not gonna have children, and I am going to make artwork. So right now, I know this sounds really bitter, and maybe it's just because of my tone, but it's really kind of how I feel. Like, I feel resentment towards the world that needs me to have children, and I feel like simultaneous like resentment at the fact that like that I don't think I'm gonna do.
I only see daylight. I only see daylight. I only see daylight.
And like a loss, you know, like, oh, I'm not gonna have that, and there's part of me that wants it, of course. And then like a huge fear, you know, of that, of, you know, what that would take from me, 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 you know, what I would not be able to do if I ended up having a family and children and all of that. And right now, you know, maybe, you know, when everything is valid, you know, everything that I think and feel doesn't mean that it's right, but it's part of my experience. And right now, what I think and feel is like, instead of having like a husband who just like, you know, we can either pretend we love each other or actually love each other, I don't know, and children, I would like to have a succession of fantasy boyfriends and artwork, because that's not less valuable to the world than churning out yet another person, you know. I think I've learned enough about life at this point to know that, you know, it's not as though everybody ends up having a good life, you know.
I don't wanna look at anything else now that I saw you. I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought of you. Been sleeping so long in a 20-year dark night. Now I see dark night. I only see daylight.
Yeah, but I liked him, and I was kind of looking forward to seeing him again today. So anyway, yeah, so we met at this funny dive bar that he knew about, and I really liked it a lot.
The luck of the draw only draws thee. I wanted the good and I trust. Daylight, 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 dark night, dark night, daylight, 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 maybe I stormed out every daylight, 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 it's my daylight, daylight, it's bright daylight, 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 daylight.
Personality-wise, I don't know how compatible it would be, like, you know, for an extended period, because he's a little bit, you know, like, personality-wise, I don't know how compatible it would be, like, you know, for an extended period, because he's a little bit, you know, like, personality-wise, I don't know how compatible it would be, like, you know, for an extended period, because he's a little bit, you know, like
just like the level of my anxiety is just so intense, and it's manifesting so much more physically than it ever has before.
Dark night.
But I have faith that it's going to go away, and that I can get through this like I've gotten through everything else. And I have a new determination to treat myself differently. And it takes what it takes.
Daylight, 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 daylight. Dark night, dark night, dark night, daylight.
So I can accept it and move on. Or I can stay stuck in hell. And I'm gonna do the first one. So I guess that's it. Just to go and not know what's gonna happen.
Dark night.
I think I need to be making things. I think it'll help me. I think I need to stop vaping because everything's gotten worse since I started doing that again. I just wanted to note something really quickly. I'm cleaning up the house here. I am really actually getting off nicotine. Like, I'm off of it. No lozenges, no vape. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, that's that. And there's a lot of other stupid, horrible stuff going on again. But it's just how things are right now. So anyway, whatever. That's not what I want to talk about. I wanted to mention that right now I'm cleaning up, and I had a kind of like workstation set out on the kitchen table, and it had a combination of all my notes on all the notes that I've been able to find so far, at least on Carolee Schneemann and Merleau-Ponty, I in Mind, and a bunch of little sketchbooks. My standard yellow sketchbooks, and my journal and work, which is how it always is. It's like a bunch of like crazed scribbles that don't make any sense or go in any order, and it's all like ripped out of a book, and then I like keep it like it's some sort of like sacred object because it kind of is. But anyway, that was all kind of jumbled up together on the table with my computer, and I was starting to separate it out to keep cleaning, because I have to have those notes. I have to get that stuff done when I can, and I'm not feeling capable of it.
I think
now.
before I get started on my day, I'm gonna do a little voice memo.
And just by all the
And
fucking trauma.
what is going on is I'm about to pee,
Every day seems to.
and
Anyway, whatever.
it's our first really cold day
So anyway, I was trying to separate this stuff
out here
and I
in
realized
Fisher
something that I
of the
thought was
fall.
so
Like, we've had some little
interesting.
snaps and
All
it's
the
been
notes
chilly,
and the
but then it's
computer
gone back up into the
and
80s.
the,
But it's cold.
you know,
It's cold today.
discussions,
And then
stuff,
tomorrow,
all of
very
that
bizarrely, it's going back up
went
to
in together
a high of
to the
82,
office.
but then after
That's
that,
where
it's
gonna
like,
stay until I work on
for
it.
the,
But
as far as the eye can see on
And then,
my iPhone
without
screen
even
weather
thinking
app,
about it, just because this
it's
is where
highs
these
in the
things
70s, lows in the 40s
All
and
my
50s.
sketch
So
stuff,
there we go.
all
That's
of my drawing materials,
the kind of change
stayed
that I've
with
been waiting
my
for.
journal,
And,
my AA literature, and my
Anyway,
book.
things have been,
Quite interesting.
bizarre
Because
as
that
usual.
that
Just
what
like,
that shows me.
there's nothing
that
bizarre about it. Like, when am
those
I going to
things
realize that this
are
is
my
just
genuine self,
life? Like,
and,
that it's always
my
weird,
AA
at
work
least
is
in my life.
is my real self.
So I had
That's
my
what's
quote-unquote surgery where they
you know,
opened my
becoming,
vagina and
you know,
cervix
whatever,
up and
whatever
tried
self in
to
God that I'm finding,
get
that's
this
coming there.
egg
That's
mass
where
out of me.
I really
And it
live
turns out that they
is
can't do
there.
it because it's on the
And my
wall, on the
journals,
outer
that's
wall
where
of
I
my
live.
uterus instead of
That's
on the inner wall. And
actual
then the doctor said that she didn't want to do it because she didn't
whatever
think
I
I should
do,
have it removed because I
but
should
I'm
just
not
be able
sure
to deal
what
with
it
it,
is
and
yet.
that really upset
That's
me.
where that resides. Our love was as cruel as the cities I lived in. I'll tell you the truth, but never goodbye. For you, I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought of you.
was as cruel as our love. Everyone looked worse in the light. There are so many lines I have crossed. I don't wanna look at anything else now that I saw. Been sleeping so long in a 20-year dark night, and I see daylight. I only see daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. I only see daylight, daylight, days I lived in. The sea. Our love was as cruel as the cities I lived in. Our love was as cruel as the cities I lived in. I'll tell you the truth, but never goodbye.
But I am dealing with it. I'm going to go get an opinion. Anyway, that's that. I can get health insurance on November 1st, and today is October 23rd or 24th. Let me look. I think it's the 24th. It's the 24th. So I'm going to get a second opinion, and I'm getting insurance in about a week. And not even 24th, not even a week. So that's going on, and in Guytown, unsurprisingly, the poker player Adam did get back in touch with me, and this is like very sex fueled, which is okay. That's what I wanted, but he's also, he's not sober. And I don't think he has a problem, but his lifestyle is it's pretty wild. Like he and his friends got some sort of house in Kyle, and he's in town, and they're all over there like doing shrooms and cocaine, but they're like rich, so it's different, they're not like sleazeball artist academic people living in tiny little apartments. They're like, I don't know, he's wealthy to me, and they're all just at this house, and he's like texting me at like 1 o'clock in the morning saying he misses my body and stuff like that. I'm into it. Like I want this kind of excitement. Like there's part of me that wants the excitement, and there's another part, and I'm like, okay, I'll get into the excitement on my on my own terms, like for short periods when I feel like it. I do want the excitement, but only in like a limited space, because there's another part of me that's like, I don't want to fucking do that. Like, I don't want to have everything all thrown off and have my schedule thrown off and, get real aroused, and then I have to like go back, take a while to regulate back to my normal routine, and, so it's just like a balance. So I want like a little bit of it, but not. And it's October 29th. It's 4 days until Election Day. Oh, Nugget needs to
Worse than the light, worse than the light, worse than the light. What?
And things are interesting. And I'm just deciding whether or not I want to make a voice memo.
What?
Question answered. Or
if I want to write in my journal, and the answer is that I want to do both. So that's the answer. I just opened the door and let Nugget out. It's an incredibly beautiful day. It's like, like sparklingly beautiful, and the wind is blowing and the sun is shining. It reminds me of how Monhegan feels all the time. It's like in the 60s and the wind's blowing crazily and it's sunny, and that's just how Maine feels all the time. Then it gets colder. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna do a voice memo and I'm gonna write in my journal. I think I'm gonna spend the day in the studio today. Really in the studio, I think maybe for the whole first year after I graduated, I don't know, I haven't had any complete thoughts. I've drawn a lot, really, I have drawn a lot. That's what I've done. I haven't finished a painting. Congratulations, world. You got to see me in action. I don't think. Nothing that I would consider like a painting. I haven't finished a single one. I'm trying to think. I think about those ones that I did at Vermont Studio Center, and they're fun, like those ones of Lana Del Rey and stuff, whatever. They're fun. But then there's like the ones that I just did are a lot better. The ones of my room. Anyway, I'm just thinking, because I think I am gonna just spend the day in the studio today, and I've been having lots of thoughts, and the kinds of thoughts that are actually really inspiring to me.
Oh, hi. Do you need to take a bath in the bathtub? Now, Nugget needs to take a bath in the bathtub. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second.
Yeah, Nugget just got in the bath, and I'm just thinking, because I do want to go and I do want to work today, but I want it to be like, I don't want to just like kind of blindly start painting, because I've been having a bunch of real thoughts. And I think without getting too excited about it, there's a way to connect all this stuff. Some sort of tactic. Guys, I don't want anybody to sit on me right now, okay? I just want to have my own space for a second. Doug, hold on, I have to get Nugget. I can't do that right now, okay? I can't just have someone sitting on me for a second, okay?
Our love was as cruel as the city I lived in.
So yeah, I've been having maybe what are more like complete thoughts. I've had, it's not like I haven't had any relevant thoughts in a year. That's not true. It's just that right now I feel like something's kind of congealed. And, and it's got like the things that I think, that I'm the most interested in, like,
I don't wanna look at anything else
the vastness, you know, of the most beautiful and intricate and incomprehensible and unknowable things that we have any kind of notion of, like and I'm talking about my current fascination with, like, it's so funny for me to even say it just because of the other part of what the idea is, cosmology and like astrophysics, and particularly images of those phenomena as they're captured by, you know, like our whatever, you know, the most advanced telescopes and stuff, Hubble and all of that. Okay, so there's that. And that was, you know, that's been part of my idea. I'm like, because it's beautiful and it's amazing, and it's amazing that we have images of it. And I think another voice memo where I talk about having at a distance in Merleau-Ponty, and having those kinds of things at a distance because of abstraction, that we have access to these things that we shouldn't have, really. I mean, like, if we were other kinds of beings, then there's no way that we could have any kind of notion of them. But because of the way that our minds work, and because of the way that our eyes work, and our hands work, and our bodies work, and everything, and our spirit works, everything, how it works together, we do have access to those things. And so anyway, there's that part. But then I started, you know, like, then the other part of that, you know, and that could maybe be even like you could categorize that as like a kind of traditional I'm just trying to think of exactly how to put this up to public. So it's like a kind of traditional, you don't have to put it any certain way for anybody, Jesse, because this is just for you. So it's like a kind of traditional, like, arty intellectual way of looking at things, like, oh my gosh, the human spirit is amazing, and it's like philosophy and images, and philosophy of images, and then a kind of awesome, like, you know, almost like, you know, basically like the awesomeness of God kind of perspective, like, I stand in awe, that kind of thing, you know, because that's what, and I'm getting this from, you know, I am amazed, and it's true, it's not like it's not real, but I'm also getting this perspective from the universe shows. So that's the other part of the idea, is that, you know, I have all of these grand understandings and grand thoughts, but my experience, like my minute by minute experience, is different and silly, and I think it's interesting to like, this is the other day before I had my discussion with Barnaby, which was the day before yesterday, which 5 people came to it, and 4 of them had to be there, so congratulations, world, you had to see me in action. But before, I was thinking about all the things that I do in a day, accumulating experience. And I was writing them down, and there was something really satisfying about that. Not every thing, you know, not every experience, but some that feel inspiring to me. And part of the inspiration in those things is that they're funny, especially when you combine them with, I mean, just like the universe show is really funny, because basically it's like the universe is a sideshow, and that's something that we're capable of doing as humans too, is taking the most, like, you would think that there would be, like, how could you commodify and trivialize and, like, turn into a clown show something like a supernova, but we can do that with the same power that we have to have have that at a distance, like, you know, you can imagine like the really glorious high-minded moment when like those images started coming back through the Hubble telescope. It's not the same viewing experience as watching. I want to know what like the quintessential one is, because I've been watching a bunch of different ones. Like, I mean, How the Universe Works was kind of, I don't remember if that's even what it was called. Whichever the one that I was watching with Michio Kaku was the more like cheesy one, and then the really good one that I watched is called Cosmic Vistas. And that one, I mean, that one gets pretty philosophical. It's like, I would show that to my middle school classes if I was teaching middle school. Because it's like, it's really, really pretty intellectual and beautiful, and gives real information with like, you know, when you see an image, like it tells you what the image is and where it came from and everything. So super useful. If you want to know what you're actually looking at. Which most of the universe shows, they just look like 90s screensavers. They're just like stars.
I see daylight, 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 daylight. I see daylight, 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 daylight. Our love was as cruel as the cities I lived in. Everyone looked worse in the light. There are so many lines I have crossed unforgiven. I'll tell you the truth, but never goodbye. I don't wanna look at anything else now that I saw you. I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought of you. Been sleeping so long in a 20-year dark night, and I see daylight. I only see daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. Our love was as cruel as the cities I lived in. Everyone looked worse in the light. There are so many lines I have crossed unforgiven. I'll tell you the truth, but never goodbye. I don't wanna look at anything else now that I saw you. I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought of you. Been sleeping so long in a 20-year dark night, and I see daylight. I only see daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. Our love was as cruel as the cities I lived in. Everyone looked worse in the light. There are so many lines I have crossed unforgiven. I'll tell you the truth, but never goodbye. I don't wanna I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought of you. Been sleeping so long in a 20-year dark night, and now I see daylight. I only see daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. I only see daylight, 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 daylight. Our love was as cruel as the cities I lived in. Everyone looked worse in the light. There are so many lines I have crossed unforgiven. I'll tell you the truth, but never goodbye. I don't wanna look at anything else now that I saw you. I don't wanna think of anything else now that I thought of you. Been sleeping so long in a 20-year dark night, and now I see daylight. I only see daylight. I only see daylight.